So I had applied for a Fulbright, which I never expected to receive, and did, which allowed me to go and study postgraduate at the Domus Academy in Milan. And part of me, you know, I thought I knew what I was getting into, and I didn't have a clue what I was getting into. Andrea Branzi was the principal teacher, but there were a tremendous number of visiting teachers, and there were also kind of a gang of teachers underneath Branzi. And what they did is they broke up the students into groups. And I was assigned to a man by the name of Stefano Giovannoni, who at the time was kind of the young rebel of Milan. And he's since become one of the top Italian designers. And Stefano and I can't say we hit it off. He had a thing about Americans. But over time, we became reasonably friendly. But
he gave you a hard time?
He gave me a hard time. He thought Americans were a little too arrogant, and that arrogance would get in the way of them being good designers. And I don't know if he's all that wrong.
What did you get out of Domus? What were the things they gave you, apart from a little less arrogance?
It actually was an extraordinarily good and very important education. Now it's tough. It's tough to sum up the Domus. But they really were trying to ask very fundamental questions. You never could just do a piece because you liked it, or the issue of I expressed myself was irrelevant. What was the fundamental thing you were trying to say? What's the fundamental problem you're trying to solve? What are you giving to society? Stefano, one of my favorite lines from Stefano is he would go, the issue is to answer one good question clearly. To answer two rather unimportant questions well is a waste of time. The other thing they talked about quite a bit was the object in time and space and in experience. In other words, think of design as not that it's not a static object, that it will look different in the day than it does at night, that it's going to get old, that it's going to get worn. How can I design an object? I mean, articulate and intentionally design an object that as it wears increases in value instead of decreases. Think of yourself as a living organism that you smell, you touch, you hear. That visual form is only one small part of the experience of being with an object. Articulate the smell of an object. Articulate the touch of an object, its temperature, its surface quality. Articulate, if you can, how this piece may alter with different qualities of light hitting it. And Branzi, the first day, said, you know, being a designer is a rigorous discipline. It's a profession. And if you wish to increase, or to be a better designer means that you're able to articulate and take into consideration all sensorial issues of an object and its travel through time. That's part of being a designer.